I, a 34-year-old male, had been involved with Jessica, 31, for approximately 18 months. We weren't married, but discussions of cohabitation were frequent, seemingly the natural progression for us, each maintaining our own residences. This expectation persisted until last month, when a series of cancellations began. The first instance, sorry, babe, work emergency, rain check. The second, mom's not feeling well. Need to check on her. The third, migraine appeared out of nowhere. The fourth, fifth, and tonight, the sixth time this month, can't make it tonight. Something came up. Each time, my response was a variation of no problem, feel better, or hope everything's okay. But tonight, seated alone at the restaurant I had booked for our anniversary dinner, staring at her latest cancellation text, a profound realization dawned upon me. Jessica and I shared our phone locations. This practice began last year when she embarked on a work trip and wished for me to confirm her safe arrival. The setting was never deactivated. I suppose she simply overlooked this minor detail. I opened, Find My iPhone. There she was. Not at work, not at her mother's residence, and certainly not at home nursing a migraine. She was located at Riverside Apartments. I recognized that complex. Her ex-boyfriend, Brandon, resided there. The ex she had unequivocally sworn she had zero contact with. The ex who, she maintained, held no significance for her anymore. I remained seated there for a solid 5 minutes, observing that minuscule digital remained perfectly stationary at his building. The waiter inquired if I was ready to order. Yes, I replied. Just the check for the wine, please. On my drive home, I passed a florist still open. An idea struck me. One of those fully formed insights, as if my subconscious had been meticulously crafting it without my conscious awareness. I require a bouquet delivered tonight, I instructed the florist. To Riverside Apartments, tonight. Yes, that's rush delivery. It will incur an additional charge. That's perfectly acceptable. And I need a card attached. A very specific message. Update 1. The florist expressed curiosity regarding the late-night delivery, but, as the saying goes, money often facilitates cooperation. I provided instructions for delivery to the main office of Riverside Apartments, with an explicit request to contact Brandon Tillman's unit for pickup. The bouquet consisted of 24 vibrant red roses. The accompanying card read, Jessica, since you consistently have something coming up, I concluded I would spare you the trouble of contriving further excuses. We are finished. Enjoy your evening with Brandon. P.S. Your location sharing is still active. You might wish to rectify that, Grant. The florist raised an eyebrow, but meticulously transcribed my dictated message. I paid an additional fee for delivery confirmation and a photographic record of the recipient. Then I returned home and undertook an action I should have initiated weeks prior. I began connecting the dots. Her phone had been perpetually face down lately. She had been frequently working late, yet her paychecks revealed no overtime compensation, a detail she had casually mentioned, complaining about her supervisor. She had also exhibited an unusual reluctance to commit to plans, always preferring to play it by ear. Approximately 40 minutes later, my phone exploded. Jessica calling, declined. Jessica calling, declined. Jessica calling, declined. Text. Grant, please answer. Text. It's not what you think. Text. The flowers were delivered to the wrong place. Text. I'm at my mom's. Please, just let me explain. I deactivated read receipts and prepared for bed. Or rather, I mostly lay there, contemplating how I had been planning to ask her to move in the following month, having already begun searching for larger accommodations. Thank goodness for Find My iPhone, I suppose. The next morning, I checked her location. She was at her apartment. Then I scrutinized Brandon's Instagram profile. We weren't connected, but his profile was public. A new story had been posted at 2 a.m., a photograph of red roses in a vase. No caption, merely a thinking emoji. The sheer audacity of this individual. Jessica appeared at my apartment around 10 a.m. I observed her through the doorbell camera as she stood there for 20 minutes, periodically knocking and calling my name. Her eyes were swollen and red, her makeup smeared. She had clearly endured a sleepless night. Grant, I know you're in there. Your car's here. Please, just give me 5 minutes. I remained silent. Eventually, she departed. Then the texts from her friends commenced. Megan, what did you do to Jessica? She's hysterical. Seriously, flowers with a breakup note? That's cold. Vanessa, Jessica made a mistake, but she loves you. Don't throw away something good over a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding. That's how they were characterizing it. I responded to Vanessa, as she seemed the most rational among them. Misunderstanding. She was at her ex's apartment when she was supposed to be at our anniversary dinner. Her location showed her there for 3 hours. What precisely am I misunderstanding? Vanessa responded, she was just talking to him. He's been going through stuff. My reply, yes. The kind of talking that necessitates canceling 6 dates in a month, by lying about your whereabouts, by sneaking around. I knew you'd react like this. I actually chuckled. You knew I'd react negatively to you lying and sneaking around with your ex. So, you lied and snuck around with your ex. Brilliant logic, Jess. It wasn't like that. Nothing happened. Your location was at his apartment for 3 hours on our anniversary. We were just talking. Here's the thing. I don't care if you were talking, playing Scrabble, or conducting a séance to communicate with his deceased father. You lied 6 times minimum. You chose him over us, repeatedly. We are finished. Grant, please. Time's up. I re-entered the building. She remained outside for another hour before security requested her departure. That evening, Brandon telephoned me. The audacity of this man. Bro, you need to chill, he began. Bro, we're not brothers. You're the person covertly involved with my girlfriend. Ex-girlfriend, he corrected. And I wasn't sneaking around. Jessica was being a good friend. My retort, a good friend who deceives her boyfriend to spend time with her ex? You possess an interesting definition of friendship. Look, man. Jessica and I share a history. Sometimes people require closure. Closure necessitates 6 clandestine meetings. Why are you closing a mortgage? You're acting like an ass. She chose you, didn't she? No, Brandon. She chose you 6 times this month. I merely formalized it. Whatever, man. Your loss. Funny thing about that, I can currently view her location. Guess where she is? Silence. Precisely. Your apartment again. Tell me more about how she chose me. He abruptly ended the call. Update 3. The audacious entitlement escalated dramatically over the subsequent days. Jessica's mother, Diane, telephoned me. I had always held Diane in high regard, considering her a reasonable individual. I was mistaken. Grant, sweetheart. Jessica explained everything. This is all a profound misunderstanding. My reply, Diane, I respect you, but there is no misunderstanding. She lied multiple times. She was simply attempting to assist that young man. You know, Jessica possesses an enormous heart. My retort, she has such an enormous heart that she forgot about our anniversary to console her ex. People make errors. Are you truly going to discard your entire future over this? My answer, what future? One where she runs to Brandon every time he encounters a problem? Where something came up implies she's with him. That future. You're being cruel. That stunt with the flowers was utterly humiliating. Humiliating was sitting alone at an anniversary dinner while she was at another man's apartment. He's experiencing a loss. His father passed away 5 years ago. My response, Diane, I fact-checked the obituary. So, either Brandon is deceiving Jessica, or Jessica is deceiving you. A prolonged silence followed. That cannot be correct. Joseph Tillman died August 2019. Look it up yourself. She ended the call. I presume she verified the information. Then came the financial entitlement. Jessica and I had meticulously planned a vacation to Cabo for the following month. I had borne the entire cost. Flights, hotel, excursions, totaling approximately $3,800. She was supposed to reimburse me for her half, but given tight finances, I had told her there was no rush. I received a text from Jessica. I know we're not together, but that vacation is non-refundable. We should still go as friends. As friends. The sheer audacity. I had already unilaterally changed the reservation to single occupancy. Thanks for reminding me to cancel your ticket. You can't do that. I was going to repay you. When? After your next secret meeting with Brandon. That's my vacation too. I need this trip. My reply, then book your own. Cabo isn't going anywhere. I can't afford it right now. Sounds like a you problem. She dispatched 18 additional texts lamenting my perceived theft of her vacation. I did not respond to any of them. But here's where the narrative took an even more satisfying turn. Her friend Megan decided to propagate a rumor that I had been controlling and abusive, thus necessitating Jessica's quest for solace elsewhere. She posted vague, passive-aggressive content on social media about supporting friends escaping toxic relationships, accompanied by Jessica's tearful emoji reaction. So, I engaged in a retaliatory act, perhaps excessively petty, but I had exhausted my tolerance for the moral high ground. I posted the screenshot, the Find My iPhone map explicitly showing Jessica's location at Brandon's apartment, with a timestamp clearly indicating our anniversary dinner time. My caption read, "When you think she's at work, but Find My helps you find out where she really is. PSA, if you're going to cheat, turn off location sharing." The comments section exploded. Mutual acquaintances who had previously received Jessica's version of events suddenly had numerous questions. Wait, she claimed she was at her mom's that night. Brandon, the ex-Brandon? Didn't his dad pass away years ago? Jessica called me, screaming. You posted our private business. You made it public when your friends started calling me abusive. Take it down. My counter, turn off your location sharing first. Oh wait. You finally did. Only took you 3 days to figure that out. You're ruining my reputation. My final retort, no, Jessica, you ruined your reputation. I merely provided the receipts. Update 4. The following morning, I awakened to discover my car had been keyed. A deep, prominent scratch extended from the front to the back on the driver's side. I reviewed my security camera footage, a hooded figure, but I unmistakably recognized those Nike sneakers, the hot pink ones I had purchased for Jessica's birthday. I filed a police report, presenting the video evidence. They advised that proving culpability would be challenging without a clear view of her face, but promised to investigate. Then Jessica made her most significant error. She texted me, "Hope you like your car's new paint job. That's what you get for humiliating me." I immediately forwarded the screenshot to the police, my insurance company, and my lawyer friend, who advised, "Keep that. Trust me." The repair estimate returned at $2,400. My insurance would cover it, but I would be responsible for the deductible. So, I took the logical next step, small claims court paperwork. But first, one more thing transpired. Brandon appeared at my apartment. Not Jessica. Brandon. "Bro, we need to talk," he began, attempting to sound intimidating. My reply, "We genuinely don't. You're harassing Jessica. I haven't contacted her once since she admitted to keying my car. She's fragile right now." Fragile. She inflicted $2,000 in damage to my vehicle. You posted about her online after her friends called me abusive. My response, "It's called defending myself. Look, just leave her alone and we'll leave you alone." We. "Oh, so you're a collective now? That's interesting. Tell me more about how nothing happened between you two." His face flushed crimson. "We're together now." "Yeah. So what? You broke up with her. And there it is. The truth, finally. How long were you two truly conversing before I discovered it?" "Doesn't matter now. It does for the small claims court case. Emotional distress, discovering my girlfriend was cheating, not just lying. You can't prove anything." I held up my phone, recording. "I can now. Thanks for confirming you're together. How long, Brandon? When did it actually start?" He realized his misstep. "You're recording me?" "It's a one-party consent state. Completely legal. So, how long?" He turned and departed without another word. Jessica texted an hour later, "You recorded Brandon without consent. That's illegal. I'm calling the cops." My reply, "One-party consent state. Google it. See you in court." Her reply, "Court." My response, "Small claims, car damage plus emotional distress. Your boyfriend just admitted to the affair on camera. My lawyer says I have a solid case." Radio silence ensued. Update 5. Final. The small claims court date materialized 2 weeks later. Jessica appeared with Brandon. Bringing him was a significant error. The judge clearly disapproved. I presented the security footage of an individual in her distinctive shoes keying my car, her text message admitting to the act, the repair estimate, the screenshot of her location at Brandon's during our anniversary, the recording of Brandon admitting their relationship, and text records demonstrating the pattern of cancellations and deceptions. Jessica attempted to argue I had emotionally abused her by publicly posting her location. The judge inquired, "Did you lie about your whereabouts?" Her response, "It was complicated. Yes or no? Were you at this man's apartment when you told the plaintiff you were elsewhere?" "Yes." "But, and did you damage his vehicle?" "I was emotional." The judge declared, "That's a yes." Judgment for the plaintiff. $2,400 for vehicle damage, $600 for court costs and time off work. Jessica began to cry. Brandon rose to his feet. "This is..." "Sir, sit down or be removed," the judge warned. "She can't afford that." "Then she shouldn't have damaged property." Outside the courthouse, Jessica approached me one final time. "Grant, please. I can't pay this. A payment plan is an option." "I'm sorry." "Okay. I'm sorry for everything. I loved you." My response, "No, Jessica, you loved having me as a safety net while you figured things out with Brandon." "That's not true." My query, "Your location that night wasn't the first time you were there, was it?" She looked at the ground. "Yeah, that's what I thought." Brandon stepped forward. "Dude, you won. Just let it go." My reply, "I am letting it go as soon as she pays what the court ordered." "We're going to appeal." My lawyer friend, who had accompanied me for moral support, chuckled. "On what grounds?" She admitted to the damage in writing. They departed. Jessica made the first installment a month later, $200 a month for the next 15 months. Last I heard through mutual friends, Jessica and Brandon moved in together after 2 months. She caught him texting his other ex 3 weeks later. They're still together but ostensibly working through trust issues. The irony is utterly delicious. She propagates the narrative that I was emotionally abusive and controlling. Most people who know the full story, however, do not buy it. As for me, my car was repaired. I embarked on my Cabo vacation alone and had an absolutely amazing time. I actually met some wonderful people and enjoyed all the excursions I desired without any need for compromise. I began dating again after a few months. The new woman I'm seeing considers the flower delivery breakup to be iconic, her words. She also appreciates that I managed the entire situation through appropriate legal channels instead of resorting to irrational behavior. Lessons learned. 1. Trust your intuition when patterns undergo change. 2. Location sharing is a reciprocal feature. 3. Meticulously document everything. 4. Sometimes the most effective retribution is simply allowing someone to bear the consequences of their own choices. 5. Always secure written confirmation when someone admits to property damage. Oh, and Jessica still has 8 payments remaining. Every month, when that money enters my account, I reflect on how she could have simply been honest. She could have just ended our relationship like an adult. She could have refrained from keying my car. But alas, something came up, didn't it? The most amusing detail, I still occasionally receive notifications. Jessica's payment of $200 has been received. Brandon is likely covering it. The ex she fled to now bears the financial burden for the damage she inflicted due to him. Poetic justice, perhaps. An expensive lesson for her, unequivocally. Was it worth it to discover her true nature before we cohabited? Absolutely. Sometimes, the bullet simply dodges you. One merely needs to be astute enough to remain out of its trajectory.